How many times do you think the average person goes to Starbucks in a week? Better yet, how many times do you go to Starbucks in a week? Have you ever thought about that? Well, we were curious to see how much students on Ohio State's campus really go to Starbucks, and if that was related to whether or not they had a social media account. We surveyed a random group of 30 people walking through the Oval one day. We asked them 2 questions. How many times do you go to Starbucks in a week, and do you have a social media account? From the results we gathered, our data did not support our hypothesis. There was a ceiling effect in one of the questions. Everyone we surveyed had a social media account. Then the other information we gathered, we started to look at different variables that could have affected the amount of times someone went to Starbucks in a week. We then looked at our data and wondered whether income levels could affect how much you got Starbucks. We collected data that supports a conclusion that in order to go to Starbucks 4 to 7 times a week, one must consider themselves to have high income. People who are in the middle income level don't go to Starbucks more than 1 to 3 times a week, but majority of them do not go at all. 50% of the people we surveyed do not go to Starbucks at all. 33% of those people considered themselves in middle income too. In an article from Corporations and Citizenship Arenas in the Age of Social Media, they have shown how social media can empower individual citizens. While in an article titled Total Quality Management and Business Excellence, the impact of the experience economy would be different over customer income and shopping frequency in the retailing sector. Therefore, with all the power social media has and the popularity of Starbucks on social media, it has to have an impact. In an article from the Journal of Consumer Behavior, because of this upbringing, one has not had many experiences when one's choices could be considered extravagant or status-driven. Someone's upbringing could affect why they go to Starbucks.
This is the idea that we concluded that we cannot base someone's ability to go to Starbucks off their social media account. There's an article from John Cook that supports the link between coffee and social media. Now the spirit of the coffee house has been reborn in our social media platforms, which are readily accessed via mobile devices. But there's no way to prove people go to Starbucks based on social media according to our survey. Therefore, we have data that supports that of the random 30 people we surveyed, half of them do not go to Starbucks at all, no matter what income level they were. If they went to Starbucks around 1 to 3 times a week, 26% of them were the middle income level and 13% of them were in the low income level. At the end of our survey, we concluded that our hypothesis was not supported due to the ceiling effect and the data that was provided.